Welcome to my Halloween special. Today I'm going to show you a top 10 of the very dark and obscure JRPGs. Join me in this dark video. Ha 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 ha. Number 10. Operation Darkness. The name itself says it all. Come on, it's got darkness in it. Right? Anyways, this is a strategy RPG that, by the looks of it, doesn't really appear to be a dark game. However, listen to this. The story evolves around the Second World War with British soldiers fighting the Nazis, which are, well, zombies led by vampires. And some characters are werewolves. Yeah, sounds like the perfect title for this top 10, huh? And it is! If you're into strategy RPGs, give this game a chance and, ignore the critics, because they say it's bad, it's a bad game, but it's not. It's a decent game. Besides, it's got blood in it. Yeah. Number 9. Vagrant Story. Here we got an action role-playing game in a very dark settlement. An elite agent is sent to investigate certain events between a cult leader and a parliament member. It turns out he is blamed for killing this member, and the game focuses on the events before that. I love the colors in this game, so brown and so dark, even though sometimes they can become a nuisance when playing. In this RPG, you don't visit towns, you don't talk to people, you just fight, level up, and craft your weapons. I wonder if this can really be considered an RPG? But anyways, it's a great game and the story is awesome! Number 8. Nier. My favorite game for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. A very, very unique and extremely awesome RPG. It's an action RPG with one of the most dark and twisted stories I've ever seen in a video game. To save his daughter from a very bizarre illness, a man goes into an everyday quest killing things that are known as shades, which seem to be connected to the illness. To be honest, this is the perfect game for me. A story so psychological, with a very powerful plot twist near the end, excellent gameplay and battle system, astonishing music, great graphics, everything. I strongly recommend this masterpiece of an RPG to someone who's into dark stories, just like me. Beautiful, beautiful game, and very dark. Number 7. Koudelka. Koudelka is a strategy RPG that combines elements of survival horror. You play as Koudelka at the very end of the 19th century as she ventures into a haunted monastery to uncover its secrets. She meets other 2 characters with whom she teams up for the whole game. This is another very dark and obscure hidden gem for the PS1, but I would only recommend playing it if you have enough patience for the ungentle mixture of these 2 genres. Because, well, if you do, then you're in for a very twisted and psychological story of dark proportions that will enchant you more and more. It's a pretty decent game, and yeah, as you can see, it has its own fan service. That's Koudelka for you. Number 6. Shadow Hearts. As a matter of fact, the Shadow Hearts series are like the spiritual sequels of Koudelka, even though the stories are not really that much related. In this turn-based RPG, with its famous ring system called the Judgment Ring, you play as Yuri, a young adventurer during the First World War who meets an interesting cute girl called Alice. But the gist of the story is that Yuri is drawn into the obscure conflicts during the war and is forced to save Alice and the world. He confused with demons and turned into them to fight against the enemies. I love the Shadow Hearts series, and this first title is the best of the three, story-wise. Strongly recommended RPGs, especially the first two. Number 5. Eternal Poison. Eternal Poison is a strategy RPG that I have already covered a lot in previous top 10s. I can't stress out enough how much I love this game. It is a gothic RPG with 5 protagonists, each with their own path and party, and they all venture into a mysterious world full of demons to find the eternal poison, for various reasons. You can capture the demons and turn them into allies, or you can hire mercenaries to aid you and your party during battles. The story, the music, the characters, the gameplay, the battle system, everything in this game is just so dark and awesome. It had to be on this list for obvious reasons. It's a beautiful RPG, if you're into these kinds of stories. And yup, it also includes some fan service. That seems to never stay away from most video games. Number 4. Falk Lore. The further we get into this top, the darker the game. Falk Lore is a really unique action RPG with a story based in the Irish mythology, taking place of course in Ireland. 2 protagonists delve deep into a very bizarre village to unravel its mysteries, which appear to be connected to their own personal plots, and their journeys can only be completed by seeking the memories of the dead in the netherworld. Now that's what I call a dark RPG, which is the reason this particular hidden gem got a high place on my list. It's one of those strange games in which everything is obscure and gorgeous at the same time. I strongly recommend this beautiful and dark RPG. Number 3. Dark Souls. Of course there had to be the Dark Souls series in this top. They are very well known for having one of the most dark stories ever in the history of video games. I didn't put Demon's Souls on this list because I'd rather comment on the entire series as a whole, but I'm focusing on this one in particular. Now, Dark Souls takes place in a fictional universe in which you play as an undead character who is cursed. You will go into a dark and dangerous journey to solve the mystery of your kind and its fate. I praise the idea behind it, ignoring the fact that it's considered to be one of the hardest games ever made, but also one of the best. So if you want to play this action RPG, I wish you good luck. Number 2. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. There simply cannot be a dark JRPGs list without at least one game of the most popular series of its kind, and that is Shin Megami Tensei. Hell, I could have done the entire top with titles from it. They are known to be mostly based on the Japanese mythology, you know, summoning demons, controlling demons, etc. Nocturne, whose name in Europe was Lucifer's Call, follows the story of a young man who was turned into a half-demon when the entire world finally went into an apocalyptic change. This is a turn-based RPG, a little tough, in which you can recruit demons to fight at your side. I chose this game in particular, even though I could have chosen many others also for the PS2, because I consider this to be the darkest of all. Great game. Number 1. Parasite Eve. Indeed a classic and a game that many people loved. Parasite Eve, a complicated and intricate game that also mixes survival horror with JRPG elements. But in this game, that combination is perfect. It follows the story of a detective called Aya Bree, who survives a gruesome genocide at a theater, only to find out it was because she has a strange mitochondria in her body. The game is so dark that it will leave you wanting for more. There are 2 sequels, one for the PS1 and another one for the PSP, but sadly they were destroyed by the critics. I would only recommend playing them just to formulate your own opinion on them, but not before playing this marvelous masterpiece. It's based on a book that was later adapted into a film, a manga, and finally into this video game. I'm gonna say goodbye to you saying that this game was produced by Hironobu Sakaguchi. Yep, the creator of Final Fantasy. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video and don't forget to share it with your friends. Stay put for the honorable mentions.